make weird stuff. Finding the worst, most ridiculous bullshit you can do at any point. Grab your horn! That becomes the game. And then I want the game to react to it by getting worse and more ridiculous. I'm a fucking train wreck. I don't have much interest in making traditional games. Chris loses her damn mind over this. I can't help but be a game maker. I just found myself kind of doing it without really deciding to. A lot of my stuff, I like making jokey little comedy game type things. The home row keys do different things to Gary Busey's face. And the way that you win is he eats his own face a bunch. I'm making a game that's all FMV, full motion video, using actors and video as the in-game assets. Most of my games I just make on my own or do most of the things on and then bring people in to like button it up. This is actually the largest team I've ever led. Body glitter, acceptable?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's no argument.
And this is a game that's about failure. And, you know, like obviously the last 2 years have impacted my view on that.
We started planning this game years ago, but that got sidetracked by obvious controversies.
Gamergate, you might have heard that term. It's a torrent of attacks against women connected with the games business. Online harassment, including threats of death and of sexual violence.
I used to go to game events and feel like I was going home. And now it's just like, are any of the people that I'm currently in a room with the ones that said that they wanted to like beat me to death? Gamergate's impacted my life in pretty much every conceivable way. You know, there's enough people that might not want to work with me as a result. Alex, my producer, lost his job during Gamergate. I have to have a very serious chat with anybody that agrees to jump on this project because of that. It does severely limit my options. You gotta joke about it, otherwise the despair gets in.
I really wanted, like, this.
Over an eye?
Yeah, like, you know, like... I've got experience, I guess, in writing stupid bullshit. And I'm writing this with Zoe, co-writer. The potential dangers are obviously there, but the benefits are working on a really, really cool project that is unlike anything I've heard of ever.
You're a good pal. I appreciate our friendship. You can see where this might become completely goofy because, like, looking back at classic FMV games like Night Trap, it's like the acting isn't that great and the writing is hilariously bad. I don't know, it's just fucking fun.
Listen, things are getting really weird around here. Keep your eyes open and watch out for the other girls.
There's this cult icon of Amazon weird erotica named Chuck Tingle, who nobody knows. He's been entirely in character for the duration of his online presence. And his covers are all like super weird, half-naked men with like dinosaur heads. And I tweeted at him, I'm like, oh, doctor, because he says he's a doctor of Taekwondo. I'm like, doctor, make a game with me. And he's like, yes, what is game? And I'm like, it's like art, but bad. And he's like, okay. And he sends me all of these weird fucking notes. He like did drawings, he like got super into it. And I'm like, cool, let's make a game out of this. So we're gonna actually try to emulate the style of these covers using the notes that he gave us and turn this into like a mini version of our game. So then we can figure out how to do this as we go forward on the longer project. So we're making a Chuck Tingle FMV dating simulator right now.
Oh, hi there.
So there'll be like a room with like different little objects that'll have little animations attached to them. And then like the character who's animated and standing there, and then you can click on them and then you'll talk to them. And that will progress towards the seduction minigame. You'll be playing the Bigfoot pirate that is haunting the character that then has to seduce him with his mind, because you can't just tingle the body, you've got to tingle the soul.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. My background with games is kind of unconventional, I think. I grew up in a super tiny mountain town in the Adirondack Mountains. I was kind of isolated and didn't really have much. I had a weird 3DO that my dad got a couple years after the console tremendously bombed, and a bunch of games for it. I fell in love super hard as soon as I found this one called Star Control 2. Having a whole galaxy to explore and to like take myself out of my crappy situation to be somewhere else for a while was really, really kind of amazing. I was working a minimum wage coffee shop job and really not dealing with anything in my life that well, and I have depression, and it was really bad then. I call it garbage brain or trash brain, like all of the things that depression tells you about yourself. Like, oh, you're worthless. I think an important part of games is that when shit goes wrong in your life, you have this whole other world that you can maybe escape to. And I had been sort of working on this game about trying to get all of the stuff out of my head and put it somewhere else. So that became Depression Quest. So you're given some options here, and as you can see, the first one's always crossed out in red, and that's like the normal, healthy option thing, and you're not able to do that. The gameplay mechanic is that as your depression gets worse, more of these options are crossed off. I put this thing out in the world, and I thought 5 people would play it, but it blew up.
What it does very well is put you in the place of depression, and it made me remember what it was like not getting out of bed for days. It made me remember those feelings.
I've been struggling with depression my whole life, and I just played a game that really made me feel like I can get through it. And that's the first time I've said that in years.
Therapists use it as part of their program to help people. We got over 1 million players a couple years ago. It was overwhelmingly positive until the wrong people got a hold of it. Gamergate itself started as my ex-boyfriend trying to ruin my life. I supposedly had sex with a game reviewer for a free press. It didn't matter that the press didn't exist. It didn't matter that they never covered my game. They talk about how to beat me so that I'm just cognizant enough to be afraid of them, but have permanent brain damage. The tragic thing about them specifically going after me is that I came to games because I was isolated and weird and had nowhere else to go, and I very much feel like a lot of people end up in games like that. It's frustrating to see the medium stifled by people that demand that we keep making the same thing. Why not make this love letter to the defunct stuff? Like FMVs totally failed.
This documentary is gonna be my gift to my dad. Yeah. Because he is going to seriously take me aside and go, I can't share this. What are you doing?
People might think it's weird that the maker of Depression Quest is largely into making comedy, but I think anybody who has depression or has loved comedy gets that. That's like a pretty close match. And action.
I'm excited about the challenge, especially trying to be erotic with a monkey head on.
Humor is one of the most healing, beautiful things that humanity has. And there's not enough comedy in games. Maybe like run a hand through your hair, like a, oh gosh. I feel like if I could be the most ridiculous person in the room, more people like kind of follow that and, you know, let go and be more comfortable.
We had to take a break from games, but all we want to do is make goofy shit.
I'm a game developer. I need it. Like, I need to be making games, and I forgot how much happier I am when I have that. Perfect.